All right, shalom, everyone. Thank you for joining us. This is Yisrael with another edition of the School of Knowledge on the Sabbath day. We do appreciate you all joining us this afternoon. I just want to say I'm so glad to have the opportunity to come together. And I have so many different people that are starting to come and listen to us. Some people from other camps, some people from other Hebrew Israelite churches. Some people are just curious. They ran up on us on YouTube. But we're glad to have you. We welcome you here, so that we can share and study together, which is our main desire, is to know Yah. And the only way to know Him is by knowing His Word, because in His Word gives us all the information we need about who He is and how He operates and the things that He does. So I'm really excited about that. I think that a lot of people are starting to gravitate this way because, of the restrictions that a lot of these groups have, some of the teachings that they have, which is fine. We don't knock anybody, we don't do that. We don't debate with other groups. We don't do all that. We just study the Word. We go through it together, and we are understanding things about what's to come in the last days. So this is the right time to come into our class for today, because we've worked our way down through, and I'm going to set up, I want you guys to let me know if you can see the screen. We've worked our way down through the scriptures because we're talking about the gospel, the true gospel, and what's supposed to be preached during the gospel. So we understand, even going into the New Testament, that in the New Testament it talks about the kingdom of Yah coming to earth, and that when this kingdom gospel is preached, then the end shall come. What the scriptures say? It says, when this is preached, then the end shall come. So we're working our way down through the scriptures about the end time, and I just wanted to share that with you. Can you see the screen?
Yes.
Okay, great. I wanted to make this announcement too. Please try not to have any background noise on your phones, because we are taping. And if you do, because we can hear it all, we want to put this up on the internet, and we want everyone to be able to hear this with some clarity. So this is our next section. I want to go to in the days of these kings. I was laying down this morning, and I was thinking, wow, how am I going to implement the rest of this where it begins to flow into each other and make sense? So we're talking about the kingdom of Yah coming. And there was a statement made in Daniel chapter 2 where Daniel is talking to Nebuchadnezzar. He is actually interpreting the dream that Nebuchadnezzar had, and he's giving a timeline as to when all of this is going to happen. And a lot of people have asked me, do you think that the world going to go on like it is, and that the world is going to have cars, and are we going to go back to the olden times? Are we going to be horse and buggy? Are we going backwards? Or how is this thing going to flow into each other? Because the Gentile has told us that once the story is over for them, once the rule is over for them, the world is over. And that's not what the scripture says. So as we begin to flow into this, I want to be able to put this together. We do allow you to ask questions. I just ask that you hold all your comments until I take a break and say, is there any questions or comments? Because that way we can have some sort of uniformity to the way we put the class together, and it makes it better for everybody. Now, mind you, this group is rowdy, and sometimes they don't care. They get to talking and get excited, and we do have those moments. So I just wanted to get you prepared for that as well, so Don't get discombobulated if they all start yelling at the same time, because everybody's passionate about the word, and it's a beautiful thing to have grown-ups on this line that could be doing something else, and they love the word of God to the point where we study and we learn. So I wanted to deal with that. This is the topic of today, in the days of these kings. I got a lot to show you, so I'm going to go ahead and get started. We go into Daniel chapter 2, verse 40. Now, there's people that can see the screen. For you all who cannot, you can use your computer. You can use Google and pull it up and read it on Bible Gateway or whatever Bible program you want to use and read along with us. If you have a Bible, you can read along with us. Now, some of the slides you will not be able to see if you can't see the screen, but we will tell you what they are, and I don't want to spoil the surprise, so I just want to get in there. Daniel chapter 2, verse 40. It says, and the fourth kingdom shall be strong as iron, for as much as iron breaketh in pieces, and subdued all things. Now, this is the fourth kingdom. Somebody tell me what the name of the fourth kingdom is.
Rome.
The fourth kingdom is Rome. It's Rome. Now, what did somebody say? Fourth kingdom. What do you mean fourth kingdom? Nebuchadnezzar had a dream. The Most High showed him a statue. And this was the succession of the world kingdoms that these governments would rule the world. And I know a lot of people talk about Egypt. Egypt was a world-ruling kingdom, but the Most High never says that about Egypt. He says it's going to start with Babylon, going to be the head of gold. It says that Medo-Persia was going to be the arms and the chest of silver. It said Greece was going to be Greece. I think it's brass. And then the legs of iron was going to be Rome. And then we got down to the feet that were mixed with iron and clay. So the fourth kingdom has always been known that it's Rome. I've heard a lot of Hebrew Israelite teachers try to philosophize and say it wasn't, but the scriptures say that the fourth kingdom is Rome. And this is very important because Rome plays a very vital part in the last days. So we know that the legs are the Roman Empire. Here we go. Watch. And as iron that breaketh all these, shall it break in pieces and bruise. Here we go again. Rome is the fourth kingdom. Here's the statue where you guys can't see it. It's got the Babylonian Empire, the Medo-Persian Empire, the Grecian Empire, the Roman Empire, and then they have the feet that's mixed with iron and clay as the Holy Roman Empire. Here we go. 41. It says, and whereas thou saw the feet and toes, part of potter's clay and part of iron, the kingdom shall be divided. But there shall be in it of the strength of the iron, for as much as thou sawest the iron mixed with miry clay. And that is what we see right there. Hold on. This is what you see. The feet were mixed with iron and clay. 42. And as the toes of the feet were part of iron and part of clay, so the kingdom shall be partly strong and partly broken. 43. And whereas thou sawest iron mixed with miry clay, they shall mingle themselves with the seed of men, but they shall not cleave one to another, even as iron is not mixed with clay. What does that mean? Let me read it again. And whereas thou sawest iron mixed with miry clay, they shall mingle themselves with the seed of men, but they shall not cleave one to another, even as iron is not mixed with clay. Somebody give me what you think it means. What do you think that means?
The miry clay is Israel.
You think it's Israel, okay. All right. So you say Rome and Israel is mixed.
They won't cleave to each other, but for some, I'm not sure how the whole story goes, but I know the miry clay is Israel. And I know that you said that the iron is Rome, but Egypt, I'm trying to research something, so I need somebody else to step in and help me out.
All right. Anybody else?
It still sounds like a hybrid program, but it sounds like it won't work.
It sounds like what, ma'am? I didn't hear you.
It still sounds like, when you talk about mixing with the seed of men, it still sounds like a hybridization program, but it sounds like it won't be successful.
Exactly. It sounds like a hybridization program, doesn't it? Like something is being mixed with that human seed, and it's not really working because iron and clay don't mix. And the reason why we say that is because they separate themselves as they shall mingle themselves. What are they mingling with? The seed of men. So something is being mingled with the seed of men, which is the flesh, but they shall not cleave one to another, even as iron is not mixed with clay. So
I'd like to know who is that they.
I'm sorry, say again?
I'd like to know who is that they.
Exactly. And the million-dollar question is, who are they? So
we know that the melanated people, the darker ones, are actually the humans.
Say that again?
We know who the humans are, the melanated people.
Okay. Right, but I'm saying whoever the they are, these people are not human.
Right.
We know that. So whoever they are, they're mingling with the seed of men, but they're not. It's not working because it doesn't mix.
Actually, the melanated people are called man. Remember when he breathed the breath of life and man became a living soul? The race of man is melanated people. But human, which is scientifically means monster, that's not human, but they mix. You can't tell the difference when you look at a human and you look at a man. Someone who,
okay, wait, I don't want to get caught up on that. I don't want to go into that. I'm trying to stay on topic. I mean, I appreciate you guys going there, but I want to stay on topic because I'm trying to show something here. The only point we're trying to make here is, like the sister said earlier, it's a hybridization program that's basically happening. Something is being mixed. Now, whoever they are and the clay, we know that the seed of men are humans or beings that came from the earth. And whoever this other group is, it is not. Okay, now let me keep going because I want to share something. But it says in 44, in the days of these kings shall the Elohim of heaven set up a kingdom which shall never be destroyed. So in the days of these kings, what kings? The kings that are living down in the area of the statue of the 10 toes. Of the 10 toes.
the 4 kingdoms, right?
I'm sorry, say again?
Those are the kings of the 4 kingdoms. The rulers of the 4 kingdoms and the 10 toes, right?
Yes, ma'am. You're absolutely correct. Yes, ma'am. So all of these kings are a mixture of all of the kingdoms that were part of this statue. She is absolutely right. And the way that they have separated themselves up today. And these are the ones that are in control today. So a lot of people ask me, they say, well, how is this going to happen and when is it going to happen? Is it going to happen 100 years from now? Is it going to happen 50 years from now? When is the Most High coming to set up his kingdom? And he told you this is the timeline, in the days of these kings. Now, a lot of people don't understand, and I'm getting ready to go into something that you won't be able to see if you can't see the screen, that the Most High has set up an order for government to be established. And the order of the governments that are to be established on this earth are monarchies. The Most High never set up presidents. Never. Not anywhere in the Bible ever is there a president in the Bible. All you read about is kings. Kings and queens. So I'm going to share something with you to let you know who these kings are today. Who's going to be ruling when the Most High comes to set up this kingdom. Watch. The royals. I'm going to read something to you. He said, we talk a lot about Queen Elizabeth II and her brood, particularly Prince William, Duchess Kate, Prince Harry, and Meghan Markle. But they're obviously not the only royal family in the world. In fact, there are a couple of dozen of other monarchies around the globe. It says, click through to see some of the many kings, queens, princesses, emperors, emirs, and sultans who literally rule the world. These people are ruling the world in the governmental system that the Most High has set up. That's why in Daniel chapter 2, he states, in the days of these kings. Watch what I got for you. Here we go. Look. This is the king of Iran. I'm going to go through these pretty quickly because we got a lot of them. King. This is him and his army. This is the king of Belgium, King Felipe. And notice that they're of the houses of. It says house of Saxe, Coburg, and Gotha. King. Watch. That's him and his family and his children. Part of his army. The king of Bhutan. He's of the house of Wang Chuk. Why is this important? I've only showed you 3. But so far with the 3 that I've showed you, from the people that have been on this class for as long as you have, why is this so important to know?
Israel is also a house.
Say that again?
Israel is also a royal house.
Oh! So Israel is also a royal house. All of this was set up by the Most High to be this way. Not to mention that these are the kingdoms of the Gentiles. And that we're dealing with the king of the Gentiles. And the scripture says, until the Gentile be what?
The time of the Gentiles be fulfilled?
Until they be fulfilled, the end won't come. So these people are in rule right now because they are head of the Gentile kingdoms that are ruling the earth. This is some pretty important stuff for people to understand. When the Most High said, in the days of these kings, that means he knew that kings will be ruling at the end time.
I got
and because, hold on, brother, and because we've been in captivity for so long, all we know is president and vice president. And we don't understand that the monarchy system that the Most High has set up has not only been given to us, but it has been adopted by the Gentiles. And it started with who? King Nebuchadnezzar. Go ahead, Brother Tony. I'm sorry.
No, it's quite all right. I just and I'm asking a question here because I don't know. You understand? When they have the G7, the G7 summit, what are we talking about here? Are we talking about those same kings?
Yes, sir. They rule the world. Yes, sir.
Okay.
You better believe it. And a lot of people don't know that. You know, a lot of people don't know that. They don't even understand that all of this was set up by the Most High God, that all of these kingdoms have been in place for hundreds and hundreds of years, and that the succession has rolled from the king either to the king's son or to the king's daughter, and that they have been ruling forever, for a long time. Long time. Watch. This is him with his military. The Sultan of Brunei, the house of Bokia. Everybody's got a house. Everybody's from a house. Mm-hmm. This is his family. The king of Cambodia, he's from the house of Norodom. I'm not even going to try to pronounce their names. I'm not going to do it, but I just wanted you to be able to see this because we're getting ready to go back into the scriptures. So please don't hang up because this is very important. This is his military. Look at her, the Queen of Denmark. She's from the house of Glücksburg. These people rule in the world. This is her. This is her military. The king of Wantony. He's from the house of Swazi. Black guy. African, no doubt.
Right.
Look at that. Kings. Real kings on the earth. The Emperor of Japan. He is from the imperial house of Japan. Look. Military. Look at that. I mean, these are people that we never see really on television ever unless they choose to show it to us. Brian, please put your phone on mute. We can hear your television or something. Watch. The king of Jordan. He's from the house of the Hashemites.
Can I just say Jordan?
I'm sorry, say again? Look at his army. Not only do they have kingdoms, but they got armies, full-fledged armies. The Emir of Kuwait. He's from the house of Saba. This is real life living that these people are living, and they are extremely wealthy. Extremely wealthy. Look at his arm. King of Lesotho, the house of Moshesh, another black guy. King, title, not president, not vice president, not governor, not vice governor, king. That's his arm. The monarchy of Liechtenstein, the house of Liechtenstein. So, Brother Doniel, when you see the G7 and you see it on television and it's guarded the way it's guarded, that's because royalty is in the house.
Well, one other question here, you understand? See, they got a G7, and they also have a G20. So when you mentioned all of these other kings, could they be of the G20, not the G7?
I don't know how it's broken down and who is privy to come first or who is privy to come second. I just know that these are the people that rule the world. These are the leaders of the Gentile kingdom.
Well, that's I don't think that's all the way true, because you got some Africans in there and they're not Gentiles at all.
Well, I mean, what do you call the Africans? Heathens, right?
Yeah, they're heathens, not Gentiles. Because we've already established that Japhet is the progenitor of the Gentile nations, and we know that those Gentile nations were Europeans.
Exactly, but who do they come under? So the African people have to come under what?
I'm not sure.
They have to come under the Gentile rule. So you do have Africans that are at the United Nations sitting under the Gentile rule. No, you don't.
That is correct. I can agree with that. Yeah.
It's either him or Israel. They'll fall under him or Israel.
Right. So they're in the Gentile unit being ruled by the Gentile nations. So their leaders are there. They're sitting there. You just don't have any of us sitting there.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, I noticed that you don't have no Israeli.
No, I don't have no. I sure don't. Nope. They're not a part of it. Let me finish. Here we go. Why? Because guess what? Who are they for real? I mean, you know what I mean?
I agree.
Here's him and his army. The Duke of Luxembourg. He's from the house of Luxembourg. Here's him and his army. And look at all of the different houses of Luxembourg. The Bible talks about in the book of Genesis how they have turned themselves into dukes. And here they are with all their houses. Look at all the grand dukes in the house of Habsburg, in the house of Bourbon, in the house of Habsburg. It's just that all of this is a part of the Gentile. Look at the king of Malaysia. And he's from the house of Bendahara. Look at his army. All these people got armies. The Prince of Monaco, should have been another C in there. He's from the house of Grimaldi. Look at him with his army. Everybody got an army. The King of Morocco, he's from the house of Alaquite dynasty. Look at him. These are all the Gentile nations. King of the Netherlands. He's from the house of Orange, Nassau, Ironburg. Look at him and his wife. This is the king and the queen. We're talking about wealth. So then what does that tell you about the coming of the kingdom of God? Do you now understand how serious this is?
These houses have to come down.
Do you understand how serious this is?
Yeah, because those are all the people that are confederate against us.
You better say that again, Sister Sanaya. You better say that again. And guess what? They read the same book you read. They know the story. These things have been handed down from generation upon generation upon generation. Do you think that if there's something in the story that says that these governments will be overthrown and that a being that's going to come out of heaven is going to overthrow these kingdoms and set up his own kingdom, do you think that they don't know that?
They know it.
Yeah, they know. That's why they're trying to go on to hold on to what they have. And then you have a Catholic Church that is telling them advanced knowledge because of the knowledge that they stole from the Egyptians.
And not only that, that they watch us very carefully.
Mm-hmm.
We're being watched very carefully all over the world. We're being watched very carefully. Israel? Oh, my goodness. Israel is beginning to wake up. Do you know what that means? That's a turn of events that everybody's doing everything in their power to stop.
They didn't just steal it from Egypt. They went through all of Africa and stole as much as they possibly could, and then distributed it through the nations. All those
and that's what they ain't planning on losing it either.
No, and they don't plan on giving that stuff back either.
Do you think these people are going to go quietly?
No, not at all.
I mean, look at this wealth. Look at this stuff. The king of Norway, he's from the house of Gutsberg. Look at him. The Sultan of Oman, from the house of Asay. These people have armies. The Prince of Qatar, he's from the house of Thani.
Kingdom of Saudi Arabia.
I'm on my way there. I'm on my way. I got them all today. I'm doing this to show you what the world is. What the world is. Everybody is watching. They're watching Israel. Everybody's watching Israel. King of Saudi Arabia from the house of Saud. Look at him. The king of Spain, house of Bourbon. Look at him. Just wealth. The king of Sweden from the house of Bernadotte. I guess that's how you say it. Bernadotte. Look at him. Full military king. The king of Thailand from the house of the Shakri dynasty. Look at him. They carrying him on the path. They carrying his throne through the street. The king of Tonga, the house of Tupu. Look at here. and the king of the United Arab Emirates from the house of al-Salahi. There he is. Own army, military, after military. And last and certainly not least, they had him on here as the last one. Pope Francis, the king of the Catholic Church, sovereign of the Vatican City, Bishop of Rome, Pontifex Maximus. King.
And he's over all of them.
He what? You better say that again. That's the fourth beast. That's why I started with the fourth beast. The fourth beast is Rome, and Rome is going to rule it all.
And the presidents and premiers and the heads of states are their underlings.
You better believe it. You best believe it.
It still mirrors also, it mirrors us too, because Yahushua is the priest, high priest over Israel, our king and priest, and so they got him set up as the vicar of God on earth over all the nations.
That's right. That's right. And these are the kingdoms that the Most High talks about in Daniel chapter 2, verse 44, when he says, in the days of these days shall I establish a kingdom. So if he's coming to establish a kingdom, then guess what? They're not going quietly. And they're watching you very carefully. They're watching the wake-up of Israel very, very carefully. And believe you me, they're talking about what are we going to do with these people.
I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
70 nations, 70 gods. Are there 70 kingdoms as well?
Yes, ma'am.
That's what I'm thinking.
Yes, ma'am. I just didn't want to be here all day, but yes, ma'am. The movers and the shakers that really rule everything. And we can break them down to the 13 that really rule the world. The 13 families that rule the world. Gentile nations. Because why? It is their time to rule. And the Most High has given them this opportunity to be on top. And it is their turn out of Noah's sons to rule. This will complete the statue of Daniel. The end of this rule.
I'm also thinking of something else in terms of what's happening here in this country, because we have a presidency. We also have someone who's trying to solidify power as a king would. So it's almost as if there's a push being made to turn this from a presidency into a monarchy.
Trying to. They're trying. Mm-hmm. They're trying to do it, but guess what? You can't have a world power and a one world government at the same time. That's impossible. It's impossible. And that's why they're doing everything in their power to get him out. Watch. Let's move on. This is his government. You know, the Swiss Guards are the ones that handle the Vatican. Mm-hmm. Watch what it says. Now, this is Daniel chapter 2 still, and I think the end of 44, and it says, and the kingdom shall not be left to another people, but it shall break in pieces and consume all these kingdoms, and it shall stand forever. For as much as thou sawest that stone that was cut out of the mountain without hands, and that it brake in pieces the iron, the brass, the clay, the silver, and the gold. That's what it did. That's what a picture of it, all broke into pieces. Why? That great Elohim has made known to the king what shall come to pass hereafter, and the dream is certain, and the interpretation thereof sure. Then King Nebuchadnezzar fell upon his face and worshipped Daniel, and commanded that they should offer an oblation and sweet odors unto him. The king answered unto Daniel and said, of a truth it is, that your God is an Elohim of gods, and a Lord of kings, and a revealer of secrets, seeing thou couldest reveal this secret. Any questions? This is the whole. We at the bottom of the section now. We're in the last part. We're at the feet with the clay and the iron. Now this is going to be his kingdom. Right. Daniel chapter 7. Who gave him permission to set up the kingdom? Daniel chapter 7, verse 13. It says, I saw in the night vision, and behold, one like the Son of Man came with the clouds of heaven, and came to the Ancient of Days, and they brought him near before him. And there was given him dominion and glory and a kingdom that all people, nations, and languages should serve him. So what does that mean to you all? I know this is elementary, but we're putting this on the internet, so no answer is insignificant. When it says it is given him a kingdom, what does that mean?
Messiah coming back to rule.
Say again?
Messiah coming back to rule.
He's coming back to set up a kingdom. And,
yep.
and does it mean that when he comes back, it's going to be horses and buggies again, and we're going to be back in the Stone Age?
No.
It's going to be in the days of these kings that I just showed you. The world will go on just like I just showed you.
As a matter of fact, probably much more inventions is going to be during that time period as far as using power without using fossil fuel and cleaning up the air as well as the water, and also the ground is going to be growing more food, much more abundantly, as well as the food will be much more nutritious like it's supposed to be. And most importantly, that sin will be underground. It won't be as open as it once was.
Right.
And all those kingdoms that have gone against Israel, they will be bringing their stores of what they have stolen from Israel back into Israel. And if they don't do it, Messiah will destroy them.
And I'm glad you said that. So does that mean that they'll go away, they're going to go away quietly? Someone playing music, or is that me? Can you all hear that?
Yeah.
I hear
someone please put your phone on mute.
Okay.
So what does that mean?
Were you asking me?
Yeah.
Okay, what was the question again?
Are they going to go away quietly?
No, they won't.
No, they won't. And no, they're not going to go away quietly, because they're not going to want to give up the power and the dominion that they had had.
Right. I mean, if you think about it, you look at England. England has a lot of territory. They used to say that the sun never set on the English Empire. And it was true. Because when I went over to Hong Kong back in '89, guess who was over there at that time period? And every other place that you you go to is always the English somewhere. Whether it's the Americas or the Far East, Africa, they're always everywhere. And that's why they said the sun never sat on the British Empire. So no, they're not going to want to give up anything.
No.
You would think, since they've been given the script, they know the story.
Oh,
and
yeah,
they know the time is coming. So you would think that they would just say, okay, our time is up. And they're going to fight against them?
Of course they're going to fight. All right.
Oh,
you better believe they're going to fight.
I think one indicator is that we have We have the Pope with his telescope named Lucifer. He's looking for someone to come. They're trying to get assistance. So I don't think they're looking for the Most High. I think they're looking for someone else. So he's looking. They have CERN. They're trying to open that. They're trying to release whatever it is that they think will stand in opposition to the Most High.
Yep, you got that right.
They're looking for the devil. That's who they're looking for.
So watch what it says. It says, a kingdom that all people, nations, and languages should serve him. So that means that everyone is going to be a world-ruling kingdom. It says his dominion is an everlasting dominion which shall not pass away. His kingdom, that which shall never be destroyed. But the saints of the Most High shall take the kingdom and possess the kingdom forever, even forever and ever. And the kingdom and the dominion and the greatness of the kingdom under the whole heaven shall be given to the people of the saints and of the Most High, whose kingdom is an everlasting kingdom, and all dominions shall serve and obey him. That sounds like somebody getting ready to come take over.
Yep.
I agree.
Yep.
It's going to be a takeover.
It's going to be,
and
it's not going to be nice. It's not going to be nice. And Israel is a vital part. And everybody's watching. They're watching the wake-up of the children of Israel. They're watching what we do, which we can't do anything but wait on the Most High anyway, because they were given a time. Just like everybody else was given a time, they're on a time schedule. When the time of the Gentile is fulfilled, and nothing will happen until nobody knows when that is. The Most High didn't let us know. That's not written down anywhere. When the time of the Gentile is fulfilled is when all of this is going to take place. Any questions?
Could it be when the two sticks gets back together and become one?
It doesn't say. It doesn't say. It doesn't say. I don't know what's going to be the trigger. I don't know what it's going to be that's going to initiate this. But I put all this together to show you the different kingdoms that are ruling the world right now as we speak, that are making the decisions right now as we speak. And Israel is distributed into all of these kingdoms right now as we speak. And Israel is beginning to wake up right now as we speak.
You know, there's also that quote about the return of Israel back when the iniquity of the Amorites it's not yet fulfilled or finished. So who are the Amorites today?
The giants. I believe those are the giants, and I believe that when they come back, when they are awakened and they come back, then that will also be a part of that prophecy fulfilling. I believe that that's who they are. I mean, but I'm glad you brought that up too, because guess what? A lot of people have changed their name so that they can't be identified.
Mhm.
A lot of people have changed their names to the point where they can't be identified. I mean, you look at the Edomites. Where are they? They just disappeared. Nobody wants to be Edom. Where are the Edomites? Where did they go?
So you got to check the characteristics out. See what their father was like, and then you can follow them.
Absolutely. So they have gone and disappeared and assimilated into this society, and they've come back on the scene, and they've called themselves Israelites. Israeli.
All right, now.
I'm just saying. Because the Gentile has to be in front in almost every nation. Now look at Egypt. Look at Egypt. There's no black people ruling in the government of Egypt. The people who are calling themselves Egyptians now are Gentiles.
Yep. You're right. You're absolutely right. Because, I mean, if you ask them to read the hieroglyphics, they can't read it. They're guessing it. They are guessing it. They can't even speak the language. And how is it that they can speak Arabic? And yet, how many other countries are over there in that region speak Arabic? A whole bunch of them.
Yeah.
So you know that that's not the people.
KB. But the Gentile has to rule. Even the people that are in the land of in the land of Israel. We know that we can prove that by not even using any scriptures. What color? I'm just going to ask the group. We're going to put this on the record. What color was the Egyptian?
Black people?
Black.
They was black. So when Moshe went into his palace and passed himself as Pharaoh's grandson, what color did Moshe have to be?
Had to be black.
Had to be black.
That's right. If not, Pharaoh would have cut his throat.
What color is the Ethiopian?
Black.
Those are Egyptians. The Ethiopians and the Egyptians
Black.
are the same. They're black.
Black
They're
people.
Hebrew
So in the New Testament, they mistook Paul for an Ethiopian from the tribe of Benjamin. So what color did Paul have to be?
Black.
Black. He was mistaken for an Egyptian.
So guess what? We have two distinctly different tribes, one from the tribe of Levi and one from the tribe of Benjamin, and both of them are black meat.
How is it that when Joseph, when he had died, there was a great procession, a funeral, with a mixture of Egyptians and Hebrews going to bury him? And the Canaanites, when they saw it, they wondered, who were these people? Who were these Egyptians? They didn't know who was being buried.
They didn't know who was who.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. They could not tell them apart.
Yeah, they said this is a grievous mourning for the Egyptians.
Right.
Exactly. So if those things are there that are written down for you to really realize, you don't even have to do no DNA testing because it lets you know that the Israelites were black people. But because the Gentile has to rule, the Gentiles have now taken the position and assumed the identity of the Israelites because of our disobedience and because we were brought into captivity and distributed all over the world and on the bottom everywhere.
That's why when they made the Ten Commandments in the movies with Charlton Heston, I mean, you know, if you didn't know, is one thing. And they went ahead and they made you think that the Egyptians and the Hebrews, or the Israelites, were white people. But you know, what got to me was that you got some that were speaking in an American accent, like Charlton Heston, and you had the Pharaoh Seti was speaking in a British accent.
Yep. They are
but you know, but the thing is that they go down and Hollywood makes it to where you would believe that these people were white people. Mm-hmm. And then you go there to the churches, and the churches would have you believing the same thing. But yet, they never went into the other scriptures, such as talking about Paul being mistaken for an Egyptian. Mm-hmm. Or that procession, that funeral procession that was Hebrew and Egyptian together. They never mentioned that. The pastors never talk about stuff like that.
But guess why? You know why? Because who's running Hollywood?
There you go. Ashkenazis.
The Esau is running Hollywood. And guess what? And like you said, and the Ashkenazi are running Hollywood. So they control the narrative. They tell you what to think. And like I said earlier, all the person has to do is see it where? On TV. And all of a sudden now everybody is 100% behind them. Those are God's chosen people. We don't want to hear anything else. And that settles the story. Well, guess what? We came here to tell you today that that's not true. That Israel is a black nation and that we have been on the bottom. Our 400 years are up, and the Most High is coming to set up a kingdom. And this kingdom is going to be an everlasting kingdom, and it will be done at the end of the fulfillment of the Gentiles' reign. Now, nobody knows when that is. Nobody knows that but Yah. But when it comes, they are not going away quietly. I'm sorry, I don't care what nobody say. They're going to battle to the end. And like the sister said, they're looking for some supernatural help to come and give them the help that they need to try to fight against the Most High so that they don't have to give up the kingdom, even though the story has already been written. He wrote the end from the beginning. That's what all this Space Force is about and all this other stuff going into space is about, because they think they're going to fight against the Most High.
I'd like to add something. The identity of the Egyptians has actually been changed in our lifetime, because I remember Anwar Sadat. I just looked him up. Anwar Sadat's mother was Sudanese, and the reason why he was so important to me is because my father died when I was young, and I would look at Anwar Sadat, and he looked like my father. And so I always remember that man because, you know, he was like a father figure to me. I would see him on TV, but he's basically been wiped from history. But his mother was Sudanese. I mean, it's in our lifetime. Then we go back to Nassar, and I'm looking at something about Kwame Nkrumah's wife being half Egyptian. Yes.
No question. I mean, but and all it takes is to do a little homework and do what? Accept truth. And that's what we were talking about earlier with Santa Claus. Some people don't want the truth because it's easier for you to continue with the lie, because if you have to accept truth, then your whole reality changes. It changes.
Yep. And also Gamal Nasser, who was an Egyptian president back in, I think, around 53, he said that the Israelites left out black and they came back white.
And came back white.
Yep.
And they swear up and down he didn't say that. They swear up and down he did not say. He did not say that. That is, well, guess what? Even if he did or didn't, the Bible clearly tells you what color the the Israelite people were. And God. Okay.
Hello?
Did we lose her?
I think we did.
Yeah, I think she got cut off.
Everyone stay on the line.
It has to happen at least once.
Oh, yeah. Holding and maintaining.
Oh, my gosh.
You know they didn't like that, so you know they cut me off, don't you? They really didn't like that one. Boy, my phone said, I said, oh, my goodness. But it's okay, because it's still true.
Yep. My wife said truth cutting like a knife.
I mean, they just don't like this. I mean, but the kingdom is coming. Let's keep going. Isaiah chapter 9. Watch. Here we go. Verse 6. It says, for unto us a child is born, and unto us a son is given. The government shall be upon his shoulder, and his name shall be called Wonderful Counselor, the Mighty Elohim, the Everlasting Father, the Prince of Peace. Of the increase of his government and peace, there shall be no end, upon the throne of David and upon his kingdom, to order it and to establish it with judgment and with justice from henceforth, even forever. The zeal of the Most High host will perform this. So it means that there's going to be a government that's going to be peaceful. It's going to be judgment and justice.
Hallelujah.
And it's going to be real.
What would it be like to live under righteousness and not not live under sin? All this mess that is going on. I mean, from just everything from A to Z that is happening out here.
Yes, crucial. And this is the only time we're going to have peace is when he comes. This is the gospel that's supposed to be being preached, that's not being preached because it is not favorable, because it ends a dynasty and dynasties of monarchies, kings, queens, and government. There will be no G20, there will be no G7, there won't be no G nothing when the Most High comes. Why? Because he's going to rule. Now we need to find out where he's going to rule. Where is this government's location going to be? Let's go to 2 Chronicles chapter 6, verse 1. Watch what he says. Now this is Solomon getting ready to deal with the dedication of the temple. It says, Then said Solomon, the Most High has said that he would dwell in the thick darkness. But I have built a house of habitation for thee, and a place for thy dwelling forever. And the king turned his face and blessed the whole congregation of Israel, and all the congregation of Israel stood. And he said, Blessed be the Most High Elohim of Israel, who hath with his hands fulfilled that which he spake with his mouth to my father David, saying, Since the day that I brought forth my people out of the land of Egypt, I chose no city among all the tribes of Israel to build a house in, that my name might be there. Neither chose I any man to be a ruler over my people Israel. Watch what he said. He said, But I have chosen Jerusalem, that my name might be there, and have chosen David to be over my people Israel. Now it was in the heart of David my father to build a house for the name of the Most High Elohim of Israel. Now watch, he said, I chose Jerusalem to put my name there. He said he chose Jerusalem. Of course, that's where it's going to be. Now, Jerusalem is being trodden down right now by who?
The Gentiles.
The Gentiles. The Jerusalem is being trodden down by the Gentiles. Why is that necessary to say? What is it? Why would that even be in the Bible to let the people know that there's going to be a certain time in the span of history where Jerusalem is going to be trodden down by the Gentiles? Why do you think that's important?
Because supposedly the people are in the land. So if the people are in the land, we wouldn't be trotting it down. But if we know that they're not in the land, then we know whoever's there is trotting down the land.
Right, and they're not the people, right?
That's right.
Right.
So he's letting us know
because of our disobedience, too.
And there's going to be a group of people that's going to be in the land that is going to take it over, and they're going to misuse it, and they're going to trodden it down, and that these people are considered to be Gentiles. They got gay parades going on all in the land of Israel. They got all kind of stuff jumping off in the land of Israel. All kind of stuff. So the Most High said, I chose Jerusalem to be my city. But it's going to come a point when Jerusalem is going to be trodden down by the Gentiles, of people that's not supposed to be there, because that's not their city. But he chooses it again. Watch what he says in Zechariah chapter 2, verse 11. It says, And many nations shall be joined to the Most High in that day, and shall be my people. And I will dwell in the midst of thee, and thou shalt know that the Most High of hosts has sent me unto thee. And the Most High shall inherit Yehudah, his portion, in the Holy Land, and shall choose Jerusalem again. Be silent, O all flesh, before the Most High, for he is raised up out of his holy habitation. So there's coming a point where he's going to choose Jerusalem again, and this is where he's going to be. Isaiah chapter 2, verse 1. Watch what it says. It says, the word that Isaiah, the son of Amos, saw concerning Yehudah and Jerusalem. It shall come to pass in the last days that the mountain of the Most High's house shall be established in the top of the mountain, and shall be exalted above the hills, and all nations shall flow into it. What does that mean?
That everyone should go there to worship.
So he's going to have a house. This house is going to be established on the top of the mountain. Not one mountain, because mountains with the S means it's going to be two mountains. And this house shall be exalted above the hills, and all nations shall flow into it. So whatever this thing is going to land on these mountains is where he is going to dwell. In Jerusalem.
When you say this thing, could that be, I think you said the New Jerusalem, right?
Nope, I didn't say nothing about the New Jerusalem.
Oh, okay.
That's way down the line. We talking about his kingdom. We ain't even gotten to that yet. That's way down the line.
So you're saying that all nations will be under the rulership?
Yes, ma'am. That's what it says.
Okay.
That's what it tells me. We read that earlier. Then we didn't say all dominions, people, language, and nations shall obey him. And many people shall go and say, come ye, and let us go up to the house of the Most High, to the house of the Elohim of Jacob, and he will teach us of his ways. And we will walk in his paths, for out of Zion shall go forth the law. Oh, the law will be there, and the word of the Most High from Jerusalem. So not only is his house going to be there, but the law is going to go forth, and the word of the Most High from Jerusalem. This is going to be where he's going to be. But he can't be there right now because Jerusalem is being trodden down underfoot by who?
The Gentiles.
The Gentiles. The Gentiles.
This house is...
Oh, let me finish it.
Okay.
And he shall judge among the nations, watch, and shall rebuke many people, and they shall beat their swords into plowshares, and their spears into pruning hooks. Nation shall not lift up sword against nation, neither shall they learn war anymore. O house of Jacob, come ye and let us walk in the light of the Most High. Yes, ma'am. What was you going to ask?
I was just thinking about the house of Yah in comparison to the temple that is to be built.
There will be a temple. There has to be a temple. Somebody tell me why there has to be a temple. What is the necessity of there being a temple? For the Levi tribe. The Levi tribe has to worship Yah with the temple because that's where they're going to dwell. Everything is going to go back to the way it was simulated in the wilderness. The Levi tribe is going to be there. The sacrifice is going to come back, and we're going to get into why it's a necessity for the sacrifice to come back when he's here with us in Jerusalem. We're going to do that next week because that's going to be real long and drawn out. What's the necessity of it?
But like in the wilderness where they would see the cloud of Yah overshadowing the sanctuary, now there's a separate place that looks like that's going to also exist, which will be this house of Yah.
Yes, that's right. His house is going to be there. He's going to be right there in it.
Absolutely. And whatever this thing he's going to be in is going to be so big, it's just going to sit on 2 mountains. And the people will have access to it to be able to go up to him and be able to talk with him. And there will be no more war. There will be no more military. That's why I told you guys all the pictures of the Gentile wars and all the pictures of their armies and their uniforms, all that's going to come to an end. Don't be no more of that. That's going to be over. That's the one time that we're going to have peace. It won't be any more of that.
Watch. Micah chapter 4, verse 1. It says, "But in the last days it shall come to pass that the mountain of the house of the Most High shall be established in the top of the mountains, and it shall be exalted above the hills, and the people shall flow into it. And many nations shall come and say, Come, let us go up to the mountain of the Most High, and to the house of the Elohim of Jacob. And he will teach us of his ways, and we will walk in his path. For the law shall go forth of Zion, and the word of the Most High from Jerusalem. And he shall judge many nations. He shall judge among many people, and rebuke strong nations afar off. And they shall beat their swords into plowshares, and their spears into pruning hooks. Nation shall not lift up a sword against nation, neither shall they learn war any more. But they shall sit every man under his vine, and under his fig tree, and none shall make them afraid. For the mouth of the Most High of hosts hath spoken it. For all people will walk, every one in the name of his God, and we will walk in the name of the Most High, our Elohim, forever and ever." Any questions? This is what's to come. This is what nobody wants to talk about. So instead of teaching this, they teach rapture. He coming to get us. We going to heaven. Just hold on. It's going to be all right. Mm-hmm. They even sing it to you. Hold on. Woo! They sing it to you, y'all. They be like, hold on. It's going to be all right. Yes, they do. And these people be jumping and flipping and crying. I can't wait to leave. I can't wait to get out. Ain't nobody going nowhere. You're going to come right back to this earth.
That's right.
Right here. They're rolling off to nowhere. They ain't taking you nowhere. You're going to be right here on this earth. This kingdom going to be set up in these days among these kings. And they watching with anticipation. Oh, Lord, it can't be now. I know they saying this can't be now. Are they waking up? Oh, my goodness, Israel is waking up. What can we do to stop? There ain't nothing we can do to stop.
Well, they're threatening us with the FEMA camps, with prison, death, and everything else, in between. So it's like they're trying to really fighting us to get us off a point. So we just hang in there and do what we are supposed to do, and Yeshua, Yah will take care of everything. That's all there is to it.
So you don't have no other choice. There's nothing else you can do anyway. But
I mean, you got people talk about we need to take over this land. We need to do this. We need to be doing that. But the thing is that if y'all doesn't sanction it, it ain't gonna happen.
It ain't gonna happen. You know what? Can you say that again? Can you repeat that, please?
if y'all doesn't sanction it for us to take over this land, it's not going to happen.
No. And that was never a part of the story for us to take over this land. The part of the story of this land is for us to leave it and go back to where we came from. Mm-hmm. And that's the next thing to happen. So if we know these things and we move forward, I'm almost finished, we have to know that the story was written and he wrote the end from the beginning. Couple more scriptures, Psalm 132, 13. It said, for the Most High has chose Zion. He has desired it for his habitation. And that means Jerusalem. This is my rest forever. Here will I dwell, for I have desired it. He's going to dwell in Jerusalem, right along with us, so that we will be his people, and he will be our Elohim. Jeremiah.
Jerusalem, or are you talking new Jerusalem?
I'm talking about Jerusalem. When he comes through, of course, he's going to clean it out, and I'm going to get in that next week. We're going to go through what's going to happen with Jerusalem when he comes, because there's going to be so many dead bodies. We're going to be burying dead bodies for a long time. He's going to clean it out. And when he comes, it's going to be completely cleaned out. But we're going to get into that next week. Jeremiah chapter 3. It says, at verse 17, at that time they shall call Jerusalem the throne of the Most High, and all nations shall be gathered unto it. To the name of the Most High, to Jerusalem, neither shall they walk any more after the imagination of their evil heart. In those days, the house of Yehudah shall walk with the house of Israel, and they shall come together out of the land of the north to the land that I have given for an inheritance unto your fathers.
Two sticks becoming one again.
And coming together. One nation. Yes, sir. Gonna be it. So Jerusalem is his habitation. That's where he is going to dwell. His house, whatever he coming in, is going to land on, and it's going to be big enough to land on two mountains, and that's where he's going to be. The kingdom will be established. The temple, we're going to get into next week, the temple's going to be established. The throne of David is going to be established, and what's going to happen to establish that kingdom. And that's what we're waiting on for him to come to rule. We cannot do anything until the time of the Gentile is fulfilled, because they're going to have their turn to finish out their kingdom.
Now that is during,
yes, sir.
That is during the 1,000 years, right?
That will begin the 1,000 years. Yes, sir. I'm going to get into that too.
Okay.
That will end their kingdom, but they're not going out without a fight. They're not. And I think you can't blame them. I mean, you know what I'm saying? When somebody, you know, because I always think about Babylon. They said Babylon was a beautiful place. It was full of, it was as much gold as it was dust. And Nebuchadnezzar just couldn't get over the fact that there was an exit date for him to end, that it would be no more. And everybody tries everything to stop when the Most High say, this your last day, this your number's up. Nobody wants to accept that. So, no, they're going to fight to the end. And like the sister said, you said a mouthful. They're right now contracting with other beings to be able to have some support to fight against the Most High when he comes. That's the whole reason for the portals being open and the spaceships and all the stuff they see, and the space force that they supposedly got out there now. All that is, excuse me, to be able to fight against the Most High when the time comes.
They're gonna lose anyway.
Hello, but we have a hope. We have a hope, and all Israel can do right now is gather herself. That's what he told us, and to keep his laws, his statutes, and his commandments. Any questions? Was this good?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
And when you understand that all of these monarchies are from the house of somewhere, now you understand what the Messiah said in the New Testament when he said, I came but for the lost sheep of the house of who?
Israel.
Of Israel. He said, I came but for the lost sheep of the house of Israel. And that's what he meant.
Yeah. Because
ain't come for the whole
Israel is a people also.
That's right. Powerful. It's the greatest story that's ever been told. Nobody has written anything like this.
We thank you for joining our class. We welcome you to join us every Sabbath at 3:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The phone number is 319-527-9197. The access code is 256039#. We hope that these lessons are encouraging you to get to know the Most High, to understand His character and the reason why He came. Please don't forget we have also a radio show on Sunday. It's Sunday at 3:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, a Blog Talk radio show. The number is 718-664-9551. Thank you so much for joining us, and we hope to see and to hear from you again. Shalom, shalom, everyone. Bye.